I'll never forget the moment Bethany Morrison stomped onto my yacht like she was leading some kind of mutiny. Her perfume hit before she did, a wall of chemical flowers layered over salt air, and behind her this mob of clipboard-waving, blazer-wearing HOA commandos all streaming it live, like they expected to catch me sobbing into a pile of unpaid violation notices. Instead, what she got was a federal judge floating upstairs in my infinity pool, sipping champagne with 8 more judges, planning his daughter's sweet 16. Yeah, that happened. The crazy part? In 17 minutes, Bethany would be the one sobbing, not me, and the whole world would get a front row seat. Let me back up a sec. My name's Jackson Sterling. 5 days before the Great Marina Estates showdown, I thought I'd finally landed my dream retirement. Anchoring the Sovereign, this 5-deck, 280-foot superyacht that looks like the Ritz shrank and floated out to sea, in the sunniest spot South Florida has to offer. The Sovereign's not some Bitcoin lottery ticket, either. I got it the hard way, after 3 years chasing a Russian arms dealer named Volkov across 11 countries with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. We ate gas station burritos, dodged death threats, cracked a $2.7 billion laundering ring, and when it was over, the government gave me the yacht as a kind of sorry about your sanity bonus. My team got medals. I got a floating palace and a bulletproof, federally backed lease in the swankiest berth at Marina Estates. Trouble is, nothing in paradise stays quiet for long. Enter Bethany Morrison, HOA president and power tripper-in-chief, decked out in a pink blazer, folder tucked under her arm like she's carrying nuclear codes. She's the type who could find a violation in the way you breathe. Your floating garbage is contaminating our pristine marina. She spat at me that morning, shoving a document in my face. Move this eyesore in 72 hours, or we'll have it crushed for scrap. It was almost impressive, the confidence. Like she'd harassed so many people into submission, she figured she was untouchable. She had no idea who she was dealing with, and honestly, that was her biggest mistake. Overnight, Bethany went to work. I started receiving violation letters faster than the tide. The sound of the waves? Noise pollution, $50 an hour. Sunlight reflecting off my windows? Visual assault, $200 a day. The smell of salt water, get this, malodorous emissions, $500. By the end of the week, she'd racked up $500,000 in fake fines. Most folks would have run. But when you've spent your career following money trails and breaking up criminal networks, patterns start to pop out. Bethany wasn't just making this up as she went. She had a playbook. So I did what I do best, dug deeper. Night after night, I combed through public records, property sales, old complaints. What I found hit me harder than her perfume. Over the last 3 years, 6 yacht owners, same story. Endless fines, public humiliation, then forced to sell at a massive loss to anonymous buyers. Each time, the shell companies tracing back to Bethany's husband, Dale. $23 million in profits, all built on pain and intimidation. And right as I was wrapping my head around this racket, 2 allies showed up. First was Roy Mitchell, a retired Navy SEAL who'd lost his boat to Bethany's circus the year before. He'd been hit with $300,000 in non-compliant flag, fines, and ended up selling for pennies on the dollar. He handed me a notebook, thick with dates, tactics, every dirty trick they used. Week 1, paper terrorism. Week 2, fake inspectors. Week 3, criminal complaints and anonymous tips. By week 4, you're lucky if you don't lose your shirt. Next came Victoria Hartley, a tech exec with more fight than sense, who'd hired lawyers, fought back, and still wound up branded a criminal and forced to sell her yacht for next to nothing. She gave me a flash drive full of Bethany's emails, audio recordings, bank docs, enough evidence to make any prosecutor salivate. But I needed one thing more. I needed them to go for the kill on camera, in front of the right people, so there'd be no squirming out. That's where Judge Whitfield comes in. He'd signed off on the warrants that landed Volkov behind bars, and when he heard I was living aboard the Sovereign, he called to ask if his daughter Emily could have her sweet 16 party on board. And right then, the plan clicked. Why not have the biggest crowd possible for Bethany's grand finale? Federal judges, prosecutors, senators, the whole cast of people immune to HOA bullying. And I'd make sure Bethany would show up with everything she had. Leading up to the party, Bethany got bold, cutting my power at night, sending in fake inspectors with official badges, anonymous tips to the Coast Guard and DA, all of it. Each time, real authorities came. found nothing, and left more confused than before. Meanwhile, I traced Dale's money to $43 million in federal grants, all meant for local development, but funneled straight into their scheme to buy up distressed yachts. Now it wasn't just local corruption, it was federal fraud, theft from taxpayers, a criminal enterprise big enough for the FBI and the Attorney General. Bethany was getting desperate. She started blasting out live Facebook rants, calling me the criminal element, threatening Marina Estates, rallying the whole community to witness justice at the party. She even threatened anyone who questioned her with compliance reviews. The old fall in line or your next routine. Saturday dawned bright and hot. Perfect weather for a birthday or a takedown. The Sovereign was decked out, catering and decorations top-notch, hidden cameras everywhere, FBI techs listening in from a van out back. Guests arrived in waves. Judges, senators, FBI brass, Emily squealing with excitement, her friends scattering to explore. The mood was all laughter and music until we saw the procession. Bethany in white, leading 47 people in matching jackets, security guys with tactical vests, a parade of phones streaming it all live. She marched up to the rail, megaphone in hand, and bellowed, "By the authority vested in me as HOA president, I order you to evacuate. This vessel is being seized for unpaid fines." And just like that, the party froze. Every head turned. Then laughter. Not nervous, but full-on belly laughs, like people realizing the wizard behind the curtain is just some lady in a suit. Judge Whitfield strolled over in swim trunks and a Hawaiian shirt, barely containing a grin. "Bethany, what exactly do you think you're doing at my daughter's birthday party?" You could see the gears grinding to a halt in her brain. Then the hammer drops. 8 more federal judges step up, along with Senator Thompson, who coolly asks if Bethany's actually trying to commit a federal felony on camera in front of 100,000 live viewers. Phones start buzzing. Her stream's gone viral. Still, she doubles down, screaming about her authority, storms up the gangplank. And that's when Special Agent Park steps out and reads her rights, handcuffs shining in the sun. "Bethany Morrison, you're under arrest for criminal trespass, attempted extortion, filing false reports, conspiracy to commit wire fraud." The sound of those cuffs clicking was pure music. Dale tried to bolt, but didn't get far. 2 agents brought him down fast, while Bethany was still babbling about her rights to anyone who'd listen. That moment, her face draining of color, surrounded by a crowd that had come to watch her win, was pure cinematic justice. You know what I mean? Emily started clapping. Everyone joined in. Champagne popped, and I got more handshakes than I ever wanted. The FBI swarmed her files, computers, phones. The other victims showed up with evidence. By evening, the marina was crawling with agents and reporters. It felt like the bad guys finally lost, right in front of everyone. The news went nationwide. 3 million views on the video in days. The state and feds piled on charges. Turns out, Bethany and Dale had run this scam at 3 other marinas. Nearly $100 million stolen from people who just wanted to enjoy the water. Their bail? Denied. Their sentences? Over 20 years each, with restitution and everything they owned forfeited to the victims. The best part? The good people took back Marina Estates. Roy Mitchell became HOA president, refunded every fake fine, put every meeting and dollar online, and Victoria started a nonprofit for HOA victims, helping thousands across the country stand up to their own bullies. The Sovereign became a symbol of justice. Every year, they show the arrest video at Justice Day and toast to the power of fighting back. I even got a call from a documentary crew. They want to make it a series. Bethany's still in federal prison, earning pennies an hour. Dale's in the library teaching other inmates to read. The marina's thriving, the neighbors are decent, and I finally got a little peace. Sometimes I look back and wonder, what if I'd just revealed my FBI past right away, made her back off before she really messed up? But then she would have moved on, found a softer target, hurt more people. By letting her self-destruct in front of everyone, we set a precedent, changed laws, inspired people to stand up. So if you're dealing with your own Bethany Morrison, remember, bullies count on silence. Document everything. Build your case. Find allies. And don't ever let them make you feel small. Evil's a lot more fragile than it looks. If you made it this far, I want to hear your take. Would you have waited for justice like I did, or handled it differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me what justice means to you, and share your own stories of standing up to power. Because sometimes, the only way to win is to let the bad guys show the whole world exactly who they are, and watch as their own arrogance brings them down.